Hello everyone. Have you ever felt afraid to do something new? Have you ever stood at the edge of a challenge, knowing that you must move forward, but fear kept pulling you back? Today, we will listen to two inspiring stories from the chapter, Two Stories About Flying. Both stories are about flying, but they teach much more than that. They teach us about courage, confidence, determination, and the mysterious help that sometimes appears when we need it the most. So sit back, relax, and let's begin this wonderful journey. The first story is called, His First Flight. The story begins on a high ledge near the sea where a family of seagulls lives. Among them is a young seagull who is very different from his brothers and sister. His brothers and sister have already learned how to fly. They have spread their wings confidently and soared across the sky. They can glide over the sea and catch fish without any fear. But the young seagull is terrified. Whenever he comes near the edge of the cliff and looks down at the vast sea below, fear fills his heart. He believes that his wings are too weak to support him. He is sure that if he jumps, he will fall straight into the sea and die. Because of this fear, he refuses to fly. His parents try hard to encourage him. They call him from the air and show him how easily they can fly. His brothers and sister also fly around proudly, trying to inspire him. But nothing works. The young seagull remains frozen on the ledge. A whole day passes. His family becomes disappointed. The next morning, they leave him alone on the cliff. Nobody brings him food. His parents know that he must learn to fly by himself. They understand that sometimes fear can only be defeated when a person is forced to face it. The young seagull becomes very hungry. He walks up and down the ledge searching for food. He finds only a few dried pieces of fish. They are not enough to satisfy his hunger. As the hours pass, his hunger grows stronger and stronger. Soon he notices his family on a nearby plateau. His brothers and sister are enjoying fresh fish. His mother is standing there with a piece of fish in her beak. The sight of the fish makes him even hungrier. He cries loudly and begs for food. His mother looks at him. Then she picks up a piece of fish and starts flying toward him. The young seagull becomes excited. At last, he thinks his mother is bringing food. His mother comes closer and closer. But suddenly she stops in midair. The fish is just out of his reach. The young seagull desperately stretches forward. His hunger becomes stronger than his fear. Without thinking, he jumps forward to grab the fish. And then it happens. He falls. For a moment, terror grips him. His heart races. He believes he is going to crash into the sea. But then instinct takes over. His wings spread automatically. The wind rushes beneath them. Suddenly, he is not falling anymore. He is flying. A feeling of joy and freedom fills him. He flaps his wings and discovers that they are strong enough after all. He glides through the air. He turns and moves wherever he wants. The fear that controlled him for so long disappears. His family flies around him happily. They scream with joy and encouragement. They praise him for his success. The young seagull is now full of confidence. Soon he lands on the sea. At first he is afraid that he will sink. But he discovers that he can float on the water. His family gathers around him. They offer him pieces of fish. For the first time, he enjoys his meal as a successful flyer. The young seagull has finally learned the most important lesson of his life. His fear had existed only in his mind. The moment he trusted himself, he found the strength he always had. Now let's move to the second story. This story is called, The Black Aeroplane. It is a mysterious and exciting adventure. The story begins with a pilot flying his old Dakota aeroplane. He is returning home to England after a pleasant journey. It is night. The sky is clear. The moon is shining brightly. Stars sparkle above him. Everything seems perfect. The pilot is happy because he is looking forward to meeting his family. He checks his instruments. Everything is working normally. He estimates that he will reach home soon. As he flies, he suddenly notices large black clouds ahead. They look huge and threatening. The clouds are spreading across the sky. The pilot knows that flying into a storm can be dangerous. He thinks about turning back. He also considers flying around the clouds. But both options would delay his journey. He wants to reach home that very night. So he decides to fly straight through the storm. Soon his aeroplane enters the dark clouds. Immediately everything changes. The moon disappears. The stars vanish. The darkness becomes complete. The aeroplane begins to shake violently. Strong winds throw it around. The pilot can see nothing outside. He relies completely on his instruments. Then another problem appears. His compass stops working. Soon the radio also fails. Now he cannot communicate with anyone. He is completely alone inside the storm. The pilot becomes worried. He checks his fuel tank. To his horror, He realizes that there is very little fuel left. If he remains lost for too long, the fuel will run out. He may crash. Fear begins to grow inside him. He has no idea where he is. At that moment, something extraordinary happens. Through the darkness, he sees another aeroplane. It is a black aeroplane. The strange aircraft is flying steadily in front of him. The pilot can see another pilot sitting inside. The mysterious pilot turns and signals him to follow. The Dakota pilot feels relieved. Someone is helping him. He follows the black aeroplane through the storm. The mysterious plane remains ahead of him. It guides him carefully through the dangerous clouds. The Dakota pilot trusts the unknown pilot completely. For several minutes, he follows the black aeroplane. Finally, the storm begins to disappear. The clouds become thinner. Suddenly, they emerge into a clear sky. The pilot sees lights below. It is an airport. He is safe. Filled with gratitude, he looks for the black aeroplane. He wants to thank the pilot who saved his life. But the black aeroplane is gone. It has completely disappeared. The pilot cannot understand where it went. Soon he lands safely at the airport. After landing, he goes to the control tower. He asks a woman there about the black aeroplane. He explains how another pilot guided him through the storm. The woman looks surprised. She tells him something shocking. According to the radar, there were no other aeroplanes in the sky. His Dakota was the only aircraft flying that night. The pilot is stunned. How could that be possible? If there was no other aeroplane, then who guided him through the storm? Who was the mysterious pilot? Where did the black aeroplane come from? And where did it disappear? The story ends with this mystery unanswered. The reader is left wondering whether it was a ghost, a guardian angel, a miracle, or something beyond human understanding. And that is what makes the story so fascinating. So, what do these two stories teach us? The first story teaches us that fear is often the biggest obstacle in our lives. We may think we are weak, but when we gather courage and take the first step, we discover abilities we never knew we had. The second story teaches us that during difficult times, hope should never be lost. Sometimes help comes from unexpected places, and faith can guide us through life's darkest storms. Moral of his first flight: self-confidence and courage help us overcome fear and achieve success. Moral of the black aeroplane: never lose hope in difficult situations. Help can come when you least expect it, and faith often guides us through uncertainty. And with that, our journey through two stories about flying comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story and learned something valuable from it, remember to keep believing in yourself, face your fears bravely, and never stop moving forward. Thank you for listening. See you in the next story. Until then, keep learning, keep dreaming, and keep flying high.